Hello and good evening. It is Sunday, June 6th, 2021. Welcome back to my channel, All is Number. I'm doing a brief video here on how the agenda's, how I interpret the agenda basically of what they're pushing with gun control. So I'm going to be very brief and explain some talking points that I've arranged here. I found out something interesting, and that is that the only people, and one of the things that they're doing is they're copying or they were previously, not too long ago, let's say, copying the Third Reich a little bit, in that in Nazi Germany only the military was allowed to possess firearms. The rest of the general population did not have firearms. And you kind of have something a little bit similar going out here, in that the people who do have firearms are sometimes regarded as paramilitary. And I use the word sometimes, some of them are paramilitary. And that's why I'm sometimes a little wary of the people out here. I'm a little bit, cautious with some of the people with firearms out here, because those are the people sometimes doing the killing in the United States at this point in time. But to show you how clever the elites are with pushing the agenda, they are very, very clever, and I'll show it to you. In the simplest way I can, I'll reveal this to you, is that one of the things that they're doing is that they, in the town I'm in right now, being Corvallis, Oregon, that's what's kind of going on a little bit, was previously going on, is the people with the firearms were doing the killing, a little bit of killing. It's not like they're killing too many people, and that's the whole point of what they're doing, is that when they take people in for therapy and they kill only a select small number of people, basically. And it's very clever because if you take a look at the combined attack on the population, it kind of sends like a clear message to the population: hey, don't have a family at this point in time, because the elites are Malthusian and they're trying to depopulate. Okay, so that's one way of looking at it. But another really interesting way of looking at it is that the people who have firearms are, it kind of also makes it so that it brings in gun control as an agenda, because the people who do have firearms are sometimes doing killing. So then, therefore, the population wants to get rid of all firearms, is what the general idea is. What I think is going to be in the near future is that the population is going to be, okay, we have to get rid of all the firearms, because including the psyopses too, with the fake stories of like Sandy Hook and things like that. They want to try to get gun control as a main issue, a salient issue on the American agenda. To get promulgated, they want, to get it promulgated, they basically need to do things like this. But anyway, long story short, but if you look at it like this, I'll reiterate that again, is that they are taking the people who are doing the killing with the firearms out in this particular area, and in other areas too, are not, like I said, they're not killing too many people, but they're using firearms to do it with. And now the problem with that is that, like I said, the population is then going to think, okay, so we need to get rid of all firearms for the most part, because that's the problem, is that these people have guns. And so I think this will lead into gun control a bit more so, as well as because the population is then going to probably respond and say, hey, we need to get rid of guns in general, is what I think is going to happen. And this is also playing into the part of the Bible where it says, turn their swords into plowshares, And so that's one thing that is going on in the end times, is that you have this false piece of the Antichrist going. And what makes it really Antichrist is that the AI that governs things is bringing about peace, but the AI is where God cannot dwell, because as Enter the Stars has shown, that God dwells within the human body itself, and our anatomy reflects mostly God, but partially Lucifer as well. And so for the most part, it is that's kind of how it goes. So anyway, that's kind of how I see it, as with where they're going with the gun control thing, is that even the paramilitary, that they have is helping to bring in the agenda of gun control, especially them, because they're the ones actually doing the killing with guns. And so that is kind of the way I interpret it. And so anyway, I hope everyone has a good day. All right, good evening. Take care.